Alright guys, so we're going to learn how to create simple mockups in this video, and we're going to use one single tool for this. Now, there were a lot of people who told me, Varun, don't teach people just how to make mockups, teach people how to make visual mockups, right? So, a couple of tools I want to talk about, but we're only going to use one. And we're actually going to use the simpler tool, which is also kind of free if you're running just, a small platform. It's only expensive if you're teaming up. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first tool I want to talk about is Mockups. This is the tool we're going to learn in this video. It's free for a certain number of components, and the number of components that it allows you to do, the number of pages that it lets you create, is enough for most small projects, right? You only expand when you need to. The second tool is called Framer, right? Which I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. This kind of explaining itself. It just has a bunch of components that you can drag wherever you want. Makes it very simple to create mock-up so everybody can understand. So, what is the purpose of us creating mock-ups? Why should we even create mock-ups in the first place? And the reason for this is because it's hard for a developer to understand what you want them to build. It's hard for a UI designer to know which pages to style. So a mockup allows a project manager or a product manager to be able to create things that can get everybody on the same page. And you don't know how important that is. Communication, getting everybody on the same page. Because I've worked with hundreds of developers at this point. It's just if everybody is not on the same page, if everybody doesn't understand the goals, how the page should look, how it should flow, then you're just going to end up creating the wrong thing, end up creating a hodgepodge disaster, right? So everybody should know what the final recipe is, what the recipe is, and what the final cake should look like, so that they know the individual components and what they have to do. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to log in. Let's just log in with Google. Right, so you just give it access. I'm just going to create a blank project. Now, this interface might seem confusing, but it's actually very simple. Here's the pages that you can create. So I'm just going to call this page landing page, right? And you can continue to create pages. You can create another page. Let's make two pages for now. Let's make a landing page, and let's make a watch video page. Right, so you go back to the landing page. How do you actually put stuff in this page? How do you start creating components? And the answer is you click on stencil. Right, and on stencils you have all the different components that can exist on a website or an app or a project, whatever. Right, and you have many different things. You have iOS components if you want to. There's an unlimited number of things that you can do. So let's create something simple. Right, let's open Material Design. And let's take out a Android mobile frame. Okay, I think we'll take a button and say watch video. Let's make this button a little bigger. It's very simple to use, guys, this tool. Let's just say, well, choose video. This is the worst interaction, but I'm just giving you an example of how this works. And maybe you could have some sort of alert here saying, let's delete the alert. Let's just have, I don't know, maybe a map. Maybe you want to watch videos of a particular place. Maybe you want watch all videos from India, from Mumbai, right? And you can obviously, I think the settings for each thing are, where are they available? You can see the settings, I think, here in formatting. So you can click on format here. It brings you the settings, and I'm going to make this 18 pixels. Yeah. Okay, now it doesn't have to look good. The point is, you have to show the developer where everything needs to be. You have to show the designer where everything needs to be, and then that person can make it look better. So now that you have this, I'm going to click on watch video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click on create hotspot. So hotspot allows things to be clicked in mockups, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. Now it's a hotspot. I'm going to click on interactions, and I'm going to say, well, if somebody either clicks or taps on it, and you have things like right click, double click, mouse over, mouse out, we just want click. I want you to go to a specific page, and the page I want you to go to is watch video page. That's it, done. Right, so whenever somebody clicks on this in the mockup, it'll go to the watch video page. It's just for people, so that people don't have to click on each page individually. They can flow with the app. And it makes your life a lot easier. Being a front-end designer, every team that I've worked on where they've paid me a ridiculous amount of money, they've all had mockups. Whereas the teams where I wasn't paid too much money, they didn't have the mockups. For some reason, the teams that spend a lot of money on things like this end up building good products. So let's go to the pages. Let's go to watch video page. Let's make a page. Let's make something here. Let's put in a video player, right? We want a video player. Let's actually first pull in the Android thing that we wanted. Android mobile frame, yeah. Now, if you want to arrange things, if they're behind, you can just right click and do arrange, bring to front. Right, so let's do this. Awesome. Let's get a heading. Actually, let's write some text about this stuff. Let's get a heading, and let's say your video about whatever you want to watch a video about. Yeah, and that's it. You can actually group things together. That's what components are about. I accidentally created a component, so I can click this, hold shift to select multiple things. So I'm going to hold shift again, right click, and click on create component. And a component allows you to make sure that whenever you have interactions, you can create a hotspot out of multiple things. So whenever you select something, you can select the entire component at once. So I can make it bigger or smaller, reuse this component elsewhere. That's the advantage of having components, but it's not really necessary if you're building small apps. I can actually go into diagram mode, and I can create a link from this to something else, but we're not going to use that right now. I'm just going to delete this. Right? You can create links from one page to another, but I don't tend to use the diagram mode. And yep. And things like workspace, advanced setting, grid, we don't need to use all of that. The point is, you have to get the point across to somebody else. You're not doing this to make something look really pretty. You're doing it so that the designer and the developer understand what to do. So this tool in a way is sort of overkill. Now, how do you view your magical design or your magical mockup? So you click on the landing page, the first page that people are supposed to be on, and you click on preview. And as you can see, this is the mockup. This is what the designer sees. And whenever I used to be a designer, when I used to do front end, this is what I used to see. And then, I had another monitor where I'd actually do the work. And then after I'm done with the page, I just click on the hotspots and I start building the next page. And that's it for mockups, guys. This is all there is. And if you can create mockups for your project, you can keep changing it. It makes everybody's life a lot more easier. All right, guys, thanks for jumping on. Catch you on the next episode.